movie opens up with a quick snippet of the crew reading a letter of invitation. Come ye be, easy for pirates you see. Events for days to melt your troubles away. Unlimited wine, dine, and beauty so fine. This pretty much convinces them, and off they go. But upon arriving, things don't really go that well. The Baron of the land fools them into playing trivial games that at first glance seem innocent, but carry an underlying tone of mystery. One by one, the Straw Hats start to disappear until only Luffy remains. Luffy, now in complete rage, demands answers, only to find out that his friends are slowly being eaten by a giant plant known as the Lily Carnation. The Baron has been luring pirates to the islands and sacrificing them to keep his fake crew alive, a crew that died decades earlier. With the help of one mustache goon and a cowardly father, Luffy manages to beat the Baron and rescue his crew. While the gang starts to awaken in confusion, Luffy just lays back and enjoys the sunset.
So, you guys have all seen the meme where it's like, I'm not going to lie, they had us in the first half, but then we brought it around. That is the vibe of this movie.
Oh, wait, in a good way or a bad way? Do we like kind of have it and lost it?
It's kind of the other way around, though, is what I'm hearing.
But it's still, the energy's still the same.
Right.
The first half, it's like, okay, great, we're back to Foxy Island. This is just, look at these two photos. Oh, it's the same photo. But then it takes like a really dark turn.
Ooh.
And I loved it. Like when they started like alluding to like Chopper being like fucking iced at the beginning, I was like, Chopper, no. And then like, one at a time, they start taking away the crew and everything.
How about the moment, Devin, I know you really enjoyed this part. How about the moment Chopper was like, they're going to save me. My crew's going to save me. And the dude's like, no, they're not. No, they're not. They're not going to save you. And then he looks up and his whole crew's eaten.
This movie is what I wish the rest of the series was like.
Oh, I wasn't expecting this much almost positivity from Devin over this.
I actually enjoyed this movie.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw this shit come out a mile away. I saw that red moon. I said, Devin's going to really love this part.
insert Naruto fucking, what's it called?
The Uchihas?
No, not the. Well, yes, Uchiha, but like that fucking opera singing when like pain comes in. When the red moon comes out, but like not even just that. Like at first I was like really annoyed at this movie by the art style at first because I was like, wow, they really
what?
Wow, really?
No, wow. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
I was really because it was like very low detail. It was like very simple, but it was smooth. It reminded me of like watching like Neon Genesis Evangelion because like it looked aged, but like I still enjoyed it. Like seeing like Zoro like drawing his sword when he was on the boat and seeing like the energy wave hit the water. I was just like, Ava Field. But like,
yeah, this was definitely a motion over detail animation style,
right? And that's what I mean. Is like there wasn't a lot of detail, but the motions made up for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then just like how grim and dark it got towards the end, I was like, ooh, just watching the dude fucking turn into like half plant, half, whatever he was. Even like the subtle like unsettlingness of just watching the itty bitty cute flower like munching as it's eating the friends and everything. Just like the subtle things. It was so.
It just goes yum yum.
Yeah, this is one of those One Piece movies which I would actually recommend. I would actually recommend watching this over the Foxy thing and just say this is the same thing.
All right, well,
man,
but
dude,
I know I'm single.
I'll take it. That's probably the best review that Devin's given any of this shit since Alabasta. To be honest.
What about you, Christian? Give me thoughts.
I mean, I won't lie. I mean, I was enjoying the movie and I enjoyed the movie as a whole. I don't know that surprisingly I enjoyed it nearly as much as Devin did. I guess maybe it was the juxtaposition of like, in the beginning for him and then ooh at the end. Maybe that's what like amplified his. I was enjoying myself basically the whole time. I enjoyed like over time. This is by no means like a new concept for a movie. It was just unexpected to see in a One Piece movie and that's the part I think I enjoyed where like you get these sprinklings of like obviously something's going to be wrong. Robin, or not Robin. Well, yes, Robin wanders into this like graveyard of his boat. You see the other boats at the bottom of the ocean. There's Chopper wanders into a graveyard, and at first you think, oh, because you've seen the graveyard of ships in the water, you go, oh, this graveyard, I guess, is for like the people they've killed, and for some reason they've buried them. And then you get these sprinklings of when Chopper and the family find the wanted poster. That's when I was like, it was weird though, because Chopper goes, he's the only one that looks young. And not why do they suddenly all have plants on their heads now? Like that, the one thing he noticed was like the captain's younger now.
He could have assumed it was a hat. They were just wearing a little hat.
Sure, but then the man's got a flower on his shoulder.
It's true.
Anyway, that was the moment in my head where I was like, oh, I started putting the pieces together where the crew was dead and then maybe the captain was the only one alive. And then like literally 10 minutes later, you know, they do the whole like Muchigoro, the goldfish guy, is melting and becomes a zombie or whatever. And the whole thing's revealed. I liked it. It's definitely a fun twist. I like it a lot.
I got to also add one more thing because I forgot to mention it. I actually enjoyed the games more than, because I know I was, because we jumped right from Foxy to this. I feel like the games felt more One Piece like versus just like, here's some gags of them clearly cheating. Like it was an actual like challenge, but it's a bizarre challenge.
All right. So just a little behind the scenes here. This movie was actually supposed to be seen before the Foxy stuff.
Really?
Yeah, it technically took place just before.
Yeah, we originally had it after, what's it called? What was that prison?
Navarone?
Yeah, after Navarone. But then me and Brennan were like, the animation style is really different. And it sort of does a bunch of stuff that we're like, we've been learning to a new animation style. And we were like, they're going to confuse that for the new animation style. And so we said, no, let's do it after. So that way they don't think this is, because this is really good stuff.
Which I appreciate. I appreciate that because of the fact of, yeah, I like this better. But like it's almost like, you know, instead of like weaning yourself into something versus like just like going like, oh, here's some cool like or like granted, like the animation, you know, as I said, wasn't a lot of very detailed in comparison to like what we were just exposed to. But it was like watching the Foxy stuff and hating it so much made this that much better.
So we did it right. We paid.
Yeah,
we
you
ordered
absolutely
them
did.
We started with the shit, like eat your greens, eat your beans, eat your broccoli first, and then we got to the nice good shit.
And then grandma slides you that chocolate cake finally.
Yeah, this is that movie quality, which brings me to the director.
Mm-hmm.
I had mentioned the week before that this was a well-known director, right?
Mm-hmm.
This movie was directed by Mamoru Hosoda.
Yes.
Does that name ring a bell to you goons?
No, not in the slightest.
I don't know. I don't know directors.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to honestly like that.
A well-known director in the anime world. He worked at Toei, gained public attention for his work on the first two Digimon movies, which landed him an opportunity to direct a Studio Ghibli movie called Howl's Moving Castle.
Really?
Oh.
Wait.
Gets better?
But he abandoned it because they kept telling him to make it like Miyazaki would.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
And he wouldn't. He has his own style. He didn't want to do that.
Got it.
So he left. And then he returned to Toei for a bit and started making a bunch of stuff and also worked on this movie. But where he really started gaining popularity is when he started working with Madhouse,
Ooh.
where he directed the following films: The Girl Who Leapt Through Time and Summer Wars.
This is that guy?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
didn't see any of those.
I love I like Summer Wars.
Yeah, Girl Who Left Through Time
is, I could take it or leave. That one's
It's a nice starter film.
it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I just personally thought it wasn't that great.
After Madhouse and their whole situation, they had like a whole controversy we're not really going to get into, but he left it to form his own studio Chizu.
You're going to have to remind me what the controversy was, because I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll tell you later because it's a whole thing.
Okay.
He worked on Wolf Children, The Boy and the Beast, and Mirai, which actually got like an Academy Award nomination.
Yes, sir.
If you're unfamiliar with any of these movies, go watch them. They're pretty good. They're pretty much like a starter set of anime movies.
Boy and the Beast is fantastic.
Agreed. Yeah, Boy and the Beast, Wolf Children, and Summer Wars are three of my
As far as
personal
I'm
favorites.
concerned, Boy and the Beast is the best one out of everything you've said so far.
Dude, Summer Wars is a jam. Don't
No,
put
Summer Wars
on
is
it.
no. There's no disrespect here. I'm just saying I enjoyed Boy and the Beast more than any of them. Summer Wars is definitely still a fine piece of cinema, but Boy and the Beast is my favorite.
Personally, for me, the stories aren't really what captivate me. It's entirely his style.
No, his style's always been like kind of different in that we already talked about it, where they don't put a lot of effort in like the details, but everything's extremely fluid as in terms of like the foreground and the main characters. And then what also completely blew me away and why I told Jordy we have to make sure these goons watch it in nothing less than HD is all of the set pieces are. It's CGI. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's a big fat CGI goldfish. There's a big fat CGI like carnival,
Which I don't mind, really. It's so small.
fine.
the weird juxtaposition between the very like not low res, but like low effort fronts animation style to like the hyper CGI like rendered background settings was like really neat and really cool for this movie. And I don't know what it is about it, but it actually like makes a lot of sense, I guess, and it works well for itself. And I can really appreciate that.
This definitely became like, because I don't remember it being this good. This is definitely one of like the top 5 movies at the moment. And honestly, there's really only like 3, so maybe top 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say top 5 One Piece movies because I'd really only put like 2 of them there.
They're in order, and I guess this is number 3 now.
This one's number 3. Yeah, this one's actually one of my favorites. I wouldn't put it above the ones that like Jordy knows of that are like, this one's a very unique taste, right?
The one we went to theaters is definitely one after this though. Like I love that one, but this one's definitely better than that one story wise.
Oh really? See, I don't know if I go that
I enjoy
far.
the themes here a lot more than that one.
I feel that. I can respect that. This one's just kind of like, it's completely out of left field and a very unique taste on the universe, which I feel like in general, a series like this needs more of. We need like reimaginations of the same characters, but with like their own twists and their own spins, which is what really draws me into, like Devin was saying, about how it kind of does a complete 180 and we start to get into like some darker themes. Like, the show as a whole is not afraid to go into darker themes, but it's always tasteful, very, very kid like oriented, friendly.
It's almost like holding back from what it
Yes.
could be, like how like grand it could be. Like, for example, like we've discussed with people dying in the show. This one like put like that fear of like, holy shit, like obviously it's a movie, so they're not going to kill the characters, but like there's that, you still felt that fear of like
Yes.
them being consumed by this gigantic stem.
Yeah, I was like, I know they're gonna live, but like I'm really feeling the intensity here.
Yes.
Dude,
This
Definitely.
film literally builds suspense up every like it's a gradual slope, but because like it starts in the beginning like, oh, like every other One Piece movie where it's like, oh, like lighthearted, lots of funny gags, lots of goofy shit. Well, let's watch Zoro and them shit, do shit, and all of a sudden it's like stepping stone slowly into the.
I'm not gonna say the anime does it justice, but there's definitely a lot of themes that I feel like the anime took from this movie.
I can see that.
I saw so many little things that I was like, this kind of reminds me of that. And then the next thing happened. Somebody watched this movie and said we need to do this again.
when did this movie come out in comparison to the show?
We're watching these movies in conjunction with the anime. That's
Okay,
the
so
reason
it's around
why.
the same time, give or take.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like from here on out, the anime this has existed in the anime's timeline, I guess.
Yeah, I noted that. I figured that too because they're all wearing the exact same outfits as when they were leaving or at the end of the Foxy episodes we just watched too. So
Oh, were they really? I didn't even notice that.
yeah.
Oh, I also got to mention one thing about, I don't know why this mental thought just jumped in my head. I liked the way Usopp looked in this film versus the show. Like, he looked a lot more like adult.
Because you liked his outfit. He had a pretty cool
His
outfit.
outfit.
Yeah,
his hair.
I'd say so. Yeah.
Like the way that his hair moved, like the way, like
He was a lot more stylized.
Right.
Yeah, out of everybody, I think they really did hit Usopp the most out of that, didn't they?
They really did.
They siphoned it out of Luffy because Luffy looked like a 10-year-old in this movie, and then they gave it to Usopp.
Usopp looked like a not debonair, but he had like a Rasta hat. He had like
He did
sweet
have that at one point.
sunglasses.
that's a character that I would be like, oh, that's a sick character, versus like anime Usopp, where it's just like, here's this string bean with the weird ass hair.
I think it's also Usopp's normal outfit, like with the brown overalls, and I don't know, something about that. And they specifically make him look more noodly too in the anime, but I don't know. I think it's the overall outfit change as well. We get like 5 outfit changes per character to this movie besides Luffy anyway.
Zoro wearing the open like shirt with just like bare chest, the fucking Sanji jumping around between different outfits as well. Everyone had like almost like a different outfit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everyone had like 4 sweet ass outfits. Somebody went all out.
Minus Chopper. I think Chopper stayed the same because he only has a hat.
Chopper's just in shorts with no shirt.
No, he had a shirt. He had shirts on. He had like Hawaiian shirts on, like Sanji
He
would.
did?
Oh, he did?
I think so.
I missed that.
I'm pretty sure. At least when they first got to the resort, like when the 3 of them were the ones not participating in the ring toss game and they walked in, he definitely had a shirt on then. Maybe not the rest of the time, but.
Did you have something else to add on that, Jordy? I thought I heard you saying that.
I was gonna say that the plot itself was really like, I don't know if you guys know the dude Edgar Wright.
The what?
Yeah.
Edgar Wright, Scott Pilgrim. What was that? Hot Fuzz.
Yeah,
That's a movie
Hot
name.
Fuzz, and then there's also the Run Fat Boy Run, or This Is the End.
Yeah, the plot pretty much was whatever that guy does with his movies. He goes, let's get to the point. I don't care about dilly dallying. We're gonna fight. We're gonna catch a goldfish. Let's catch a goldfish. Get to the point. It like jump cut straight to them getting the goldfish. Like there's no explaining. It's just let's get to it.
The goldfish is like literally jumps out of the water too, and everyone's just like,
which is really
juggling
jarring.
the shit out of it.
Yeah, which is really jarring at points because it just keeps jumping from game to game to game. But then I'm like, this kind of makes sense because it's like, do people really care why they're playing these games? We don't care. We care about the underlying story here, that the story that they're
The hidden story until it's revealed.
we're trying to figure out the reason why Chopper got shot by an arrow midway through the movie.
Why every girl wants to flirt with the fish guy.
Well, did you look at him? He's a master goldfish catcher.
What was his name?
Muchigoro.
Muchigoro.
I made sure to remember his name because that man is an absolute legend.
that guy is a fucking stand and a half.
I like the DJ Kid.
Pooh.
DJ Kid had a cool design.
Yeah, I like this speech pattern.
When Usopp confronts him about his hat and like that look that that turtle kid DJ whatever he is, because I think he's based off like a turtle.
He's a kappa.
That like that creepy stare that he gives. Oh, that sent shivers down my spine.
Yeah, he's a kappa.
Mhm.
He's supposed to.
He gave him the Hawk stare. He's like, you don't want to make me angry.
And then he takes Usopp's hat to cover up his own.
He was like, I like that hat, dude. Give me the hat.
And the next time you see him, he's wearing a hat, and everybody's like, wait a minute, that's Usopp's. What do you do to Usopp?
I like how they actually recognize that too. They're like, wait. Usopp was wearing that sweet fucking hat a minute ago.
Kappa Kid's like, why me? No, I
Don't
didn't
look
do
at me.
nothing. It's my hat.
Now, speaking of weird characters, I got to bring up one. There's one that caught my eye.
Well, who's that?
Was it the old geezers?
Hold on, I wrote his name down. Where'd I put it?
I feel like all the old geezers were equally weird.
Brief.
So,
His name was Brief.
okay.
Brief.
Oh, he's talking about the old bad guy.
He's talking about the mustache, the toothbrush mustache pirate. That guy really drop his name? I did not.
His name is Brief.
I did not get that.
His story is so sad. It's like, man.
Well, it's sad, but like he's clearly of a fairly strong will, though. Like this guy, he's been hanging around here, and the our main bad guy, the Baron, goes like, I've killed plenty of pirate crews, and the captain I leave him for the end, and he always gives up at the end. But this guy, Brief, as his name apparently is,
How'd he get away? I want to know how he got away.
He either somehow he got away, and he had the will to keep on living. Even Luffy was about to give up. Our protagonist of the entire series with the unending.
It's because the Baron lies to these fools. They go, they're already dead. When in fact, the French was like, no, they're not dead yet. I know this. They're always alive. They're in there somewhere. Not yet. Go do your thing.
Right, but did he know that at the time that his own crew was getting eaten?
He probably figured that out over so many crews that he saw coming through.
So this is actually kind of my question. I actually was wondering how to interpret that because it kind of seemed like the Baron was telling Luffy, like as like a courtesy, when he's like about to end the captain's life, he goes, do you want to live, or do you want to die and be alongside your crew or whatever? And I almost took that as, okay, wait. So did the old guy like
assimilating?
No. Like, he will either let you go and live your life like the Baron does, knowing that he's the only one left of his crew, or he'll just kill you off with the rest of the crew. And then his note was that normally a captain will be like, well, if my crew's dead, like, I have no reason to live. Like, I'm just going to go too. But then the mustache guy was like, no, I want to live. I don't want to die or whatever. That was kind of how I took that away. Am I interpreting this wrong?
I interpret it as assimilation, not necessarily because like of how like the Baron's crew works, where they're dead but they're brought back to life via the tree ritual. My interpretation was like you can live because he thinks that his friends are still alive, or I can end your suffering now. And
I feel like he would have killed them either way because he wants the extra juice for his friends.
That too. He does need the Duracells.
I would say that part was like a little, because I also am wondering like how he got away. I guess I didn't see it from the angle of he just wanted to live, he got away or whatever.
The fact that the dad and his children survived by just running.
I don't think they got caught ever.
Yeah, I believe he said that as soon as he saw the giant goldfish, they ran away, and I'm guessing they've just been surviving ever since. And then the little girl with them having the mantra powers.
Yeah,
what's up with this?
I don't know, dude. That's probably like the one problem with this movie. This is some nonsense Deus Ex Kobe shit. Like
Deus Ex Kobe.
I swear, dude. Like these story writers love giving these small children like the strongest powers in the world.
It's always the old guy hermits and the little kids that are like the strongest characters in anime. Changed my mind, dude.
It's definitely strange. I can overlook it based on the rest of the movie.
Yeah, the quality of the film.
But it's definitely a very strange way to go about ending it.
I totally thought Luffy was just going to go like full rage mode at one point, but then when they were seeing him defeated and like slump, like that hit.
So before we get to like the full fall of Luffy, though, I do want to talk about that as like a major plot point that I do think carries a lot of merit that we have not yet explored with our main characters. And this is like, or what I'm talking about is the characters basically all like starting to not trust each other slowly and like kind of, I guess, like bicker with one another. It started with like Usopp and Nami as they kind of like started to like, hate each other or whatever. Nami felt betrayed by Usopp when he flew the fuck away or whatever. And then Usopp's like, bro, like I was just doing my thing and we won.
I thought
like,
it was a charm at first. I thought that the flower, and not assimilating, but I thought that the flower, like the flowers and like the flowers on their heads was like a charm like thing where it's like where like they're slowly being manipulated to like be more aggressive towards each other to where they would split, and then the captain would take advantage of it. Not the fact that they were like
being manipulated.
Yeah. I thought they were being manipulated like subconsciously versus.
Well, they were being manipulated, but it's also the other factor is like Usopp brought up the whole like. Let me explain this part. Nami ran away, and Usopp was like, "No, I didn't run away. That's your thing." And Nami took that to heart. She was like, "Oh, so that's the way you see me, huh?"
Oh.
And Usopp's like, "Wait, what'd I say?"
The old lady or the old people, when they're just floating there too, they plant that seed in her head. Or no, it was when they're on the boat. When he attaches his thing and he doesn't realize what it is and he flies away.
The old people. Itself. He didn't attach it. It just kind of like.
It just like clamps onto him and he airbend gliders out of there.
Yeah, dude.
But then the old people yell at Nami from across the boat and they go like, "Yeah, wow, I can't believe he just straight up left you like that. That's crazy." And then she's like, "Oh my god, they're right.
Really did just leave.
Usopp just left my ass. I'm gonna die. That's crazy."
I think that like what I love most about it is that like that theme of mistrust amongst like these characters that we've been a part of for so long, and we as an audience have just grown accustomed to their vibe checks, right? Like they're always just kind of on each other's team. But in a movie like this where they kind of start to break down their relationship, that is an extremely underappreciated plot element that I love.
It was really only Usopp and Nami, to be honest, because the other two goons already hate each other.
Yeah, but it was reinforced though because of the scenes. Like for example, when Sanji was doing that weird cook-off, which he didn't really need to do.
Yeah, that was
Dude, that scene was awesome though, wasn't
Wow.
I'm not saying it wasn't interesting. It felt
It
forced.
was extra, dude.
It
It
was
was way
extra.
too
I
extra.
love
it was
that
it was just another reason to like to break them further apart, because the two
To
women he
sprinkle
was
salt the distrust between
the
them.
two women he was doing it for weren't, one wasn't paying attention and one was straight up gone, and then the only one who's there is Luffy, who's always there, and Zoro, who's sleeping on his ass, so, and who he's already hated this entire time.
So yeah, I would say I agree. Like most of it was through Nami and Usopp breaking down their relationship, because Zoro and Sanji were like always bickering. Chopper was kind of he wasn't really a part
It was
of the-
ousted. I told you he was murdered mid-movie.
Yeah, he just got. They knew that they could never break his trust in everybody, so they were just like, we got to get rid of him first.
We just gotta fucking
he's too innocent.
I think the funniest part about the fact that he got iced first was that he was the last to get assimilated.
Yeah, that's also kind of interesting.
Well,
too.
Zoro was. No, that's not true. Zoro was.
No, because when Chopper wakes up up at the top of the mountain, Zoro's already in the tree.
Yeah, Zoro's already being eaten.
So he's
But-
the last to get put in the stem, but he's not the
Yeah.
last one to get like.
I guess it's like the stem is like their plate. That's the last one to put on their plate, and then the eating is the part where they get like sucked in.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I can agree with all this. He was the last to get placed on the stem. However, when they were all like getting officially like blah blah absorbed or whatever, I do believe Zoro was the last one to fall or whatever. Fall is such a strong word, because he was just like, okay, Luffy, I'm going with my people now.
I wish that they made the stem a little bit more flower-like, like make a flower petal be that. But the fact that it was a stem, it looked almost like a rebar.
I think, I think it was supposed to look sort of out of place for a reason. It was just supposed to give you this odd feeling of what the hell am I looking at?
Yeah,
Exactly.
like an unnerving feeling, which it achieved, especially when it fucking turned into a bazillion arrows.
It was like a squiggly tube.
It's
It looked like a twisted rebar.
a twisted rebar like a coil. Yeah, exactly. Like they kept referring to it as a flower, but really there was nothing flowering on that thing other than the weird like tendrils that would expand from it, pulling everybody to the top.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder what would have happened if it bloomed.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think
dude.
it ever blooms, dude. I think that's just the thing just consumes.
See, like that's another thing this movie does really well, is that honestly there are still like a couple of mysteries like at the end of the day, but they're not mysteries that anyone requires an answer to. You know what I mean? Like we don't really know like how the Baron lost his crew.
It was a really bad storm, and they got the boat got completely wrecked on the shore of that island, and they all died except him, I guess.
No, I thought Gold Roger, like they saw Gold Roger, and then like they specifically said like, oh yeah, he's dead. What do you mean? That was 20 years ago. And then he started going like, "Meh, zombie mode."
Zombie mode.
It was the Moochie boy when Nami starts flirting with him, and she's like, yeah, I knew Gold Roger. He started the pirate era, right? He's like, yeah. You know, you must have met him, right, on the way here. And she's like, Nani?
Huh?
Like, yeah, we just got out of dinner.
Dude, he's been dead for like 20 years. 20 years now. I just saw him yesterday. We were having a couple of Heinekens. And then he's like, and then we went to the storm, and then he died.
Yeah,
And then
he's
he, like,
zombies.
Grows really old and just fucking falls over on the ground.
That animation of just watching him slowly like decay was, I was like, oh, this is getting dark. I like
Yeah.
this.
This is the moment that Devin was like, wait a
More.
minute. What are you doing in there? I like what you're selling, kid.
This is like the type of dark shit where it's like, it's not like true, darkness, but it's still like that unnervingness that I like in a show.
Yeah. Unnerving is a really good word, is good way to put it. It becomes it goes from being like a normal, lighthearted, One Piece sort of random ass kooky adventure, but then like as the plot unveils, you start to like get very unnerved by the set pieces and like
It makes you more anxious. It makes you more like feared, like afraid for the characters that you love. Because you're like, when you watch Zoro get fucking shot with an arrow, you're just like, holy shit. Like that never happens. he got downed in one tap. This is fucking Call of Duty.
That bow and
logic.
arrow is OP as hell, dude. I
it's
want
literally
that
just
shit.
what's his name's bow from Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's
though.
Yondu. It's just, he doesn't even need that's I literally wrote that. I love this weapon just because I like those like really dexterous finesse weapons in like just about any media, games, movies, TV, whatever. So I immediately was like, oh, this dude could just drop the bow entirely, just use it like Yondu does. Just
I'm trying to remember. Is this like the first time we've seen like a bow power in the One Piece universe?
I would
Yes.
say
I know we've
so.
seen
Yeah.
people with bows,
I wanna say so,
but
yeah.
but not like bow specific.
No one's ever used the
powers.
bow this well.
no. This is definitely a top tier villain weapon here.
Weapons in general don't really get much use in the universe outside of Nami's Klimatat.
Well, I mean, and Usopp's like slingshots and stuff. I mean,
Sure.
well, what do you mean, sure?
I feel like the rubber band of doom does more work.
Okay, yeah, you're right. The Rubber Band of Doom is like.
And how are you just gonna disrespect Ketchup Star like this?
I can't believe.
Hey, we got the 100-pound hammer or whatever, or 10-ton hammer or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
whatever it
It
is.
It made its return, dude, and then he collapses it because it's just. That was so fucking good, dude. I love that bit. He comes down from the heavens.
Actually, since we're back here to this game, did anyone notice anything special about the last frog guy?
What?
No.
Wait, what?
No, about anything about his speech patterns?
Did he look like Panda Man?
No,
Okay.
he spoke in haikus.
What?
No,
He did.
He spoke in haikus. The last old man who's jumping around giving Zoro and Sanji problems. He speaks in haikus.
Oh man, I completely missed that.
I wrote down the first one because I thought it was just like an oddly like poetic line, and I was like, this seems really out of place for this. And then he speaks like 2 more times. The one that got me was the last one. When the fireworks go off at the end. I didn't write that one down. I should have. But it's very like it's like blooming flowers in the sky, something ethereal flowers. And I was like, wait a minute. That's
a
575. That's haikus, you son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. You've been speaking haikus to me.
The one that I wrote down, the first one he speaks was, were the rabbit to die, which is like a weird like breaking up of the syllables count, but either way, the fox would be lonely and deeply distraught.
Wow, what a fucking dude.
Which is also kind of a parallel to the plot when you think about
Well,
it. that
yes,
haiku.
that specifically is like an illusion. Having watched the entire movie is a very good allusion to what happens later. But I was like, you son of a bitch.
But then, so in addition to the subplot of the Straw Hats hating it, we get to the part where they all get captured, and then the other awesome part of the movie is seeing Luffy devolve into his own personal madness was wow for me personally. The
I
part
wouldn't
where
say
he's,
madness. I would say more so despair.
the part where he's like, I don't know, trying to stretch his arms to beat the shit out of Baron Omatsuri or whoever, and then he just gets pinned to the fucking rock or whatever. With all of his limbs, and he's just sitting there as this noodly boy. He's just so empty inside.
But then he throws his head not at the Baron, but like to try and get to the stem where only Zoro is the last one remaining. And I had a brief thought that like the I don't think it actually works out because I think Chopper is one of the first people to get absorbed. That the plant was absorbing them in reverse order, like reverse join order, but I don't think it worked out that way.
It was sort of that way.
It was almost that way because Nami and what's his face Zoro are the last ones, but Usopp is there before Nami really. So is
when you think about it, it doesn't make sense, but it was sort of in the right order.
But yeah, he uses his last attack to like get up there and like try and have, instead of attacking the bear, and try and help the last remaining friend up there, and then he just
he does it. He gets eaten, and Luffy has nothing left to do. And then I forget what happens next. Does he get? That's when he gets saved by a mustache guy, right?
Yeah, he goes to get executed by the Baron, and then he pulls him down into an underground tunnel.
You know what would have been a crazy plot twist if like while they were down in the tunnels. The French dude, like out of the peeking of his little hat, you see a little flower, and then Luffy goes, "Oh no,
Oh boy.
you're one
Man.
of them."
Oh no.
That would have really escalated the plot here, but it was not to be. We only had like 15 minutes left. We needed to end.
Well, he could have just been like, I was a part of his crew.
Yeah, it was just one of the crewmates who remembered everything and then tried to stop the Baron from destroying
Actually,
himself.
that was a plot point that I thought they were going to explore, because Muchigoro gets zombified basically like as he remembers like this horrible shipwreck and the fact that like they're technically dead already, and then he zombifies, and I was like, oh my god, did like remembering this completely reverse whatever is going on here? And then it's not really the case. It's just like it just happened to be the time that he was running out of batteries and needed them replaced. So
I also want to talk about that, like the animation choice that they did when like they show all the crew members like after they defeat the Baron and the Flower, and like how they actually like just like snap into like twigs and shit. Like that was fucking wild.
Which makes you think, really, this whole Red Moon situation, were they actually real or were they just illusions?
This kind of compounds on the same thing we were saying earlier, was like the charm effect of like it's almost like entering the Feywild in like a D&D universe, where it's like everything you see can't be trusted.
Because the beginning, even in the beginning of the movie, the color palette went from the super bright, just like exploration type colors, and then like when they finally landed on the island, everything like all the color scheme went like super low and yellowish, and it like everything became foggy. So you can think that probably none of it was real, and the Baron was just like using illusions to trick himself into thinking his crew was alive.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree.
And that goes back to like, again, some part of the charm of this movie is that not every mystery is kind of solved, but it was a really good time, and it had a satisfying enough conclusion anyway. I'm glad we were a part of it. It was pretty decent.
Absolutely.
There's one more thing I do want to talk about, which I thought that like made me chill. It was after, again, like the tree like explodes into like a billion arrows and like fucking 300s Luffy.
Yeah, dude.
The part that gave me chills was when you could hear Luffy move and you could hear all the like arrows that are in him rattling against each other.
yeah.
The shot with the stem breaking and it cuts to the red moon. They just sit on it and
That
it's just like
shot
nothing
is
moves.
so good.
I was like, oh,
That's background of your computer worthy right there.
Yeah, this pretty much the entire last 20 minutes, because I think it was like a 20-30 minute sequence, was basically like Luffy versus the Baron and like the end scenes or whatever. Pretty
Mhm.
much that entire like area, maybe bar like the mustache guy and like the side plot of being underground again. That entire like end of the movie all just had fantastic shots from start to finish. And I would also say there's a lot of anime music videos with a lot of One Piece scenes that use a lot of the scenery here. Let me
I don't
tell
blame 'em.
you, buddy.
It's fire.
we haven't even discussed like the money shot is when he finally punches this dude back to the manga.
He punches this man back to the manga. Yeah, they do that thing where like everything goes fucking all white and you only see like the lines, right? Or something like that.
Uchigoro, Keroji, DJ, こてつ、モルどもよ。行かないでくれ。わしを一人にしないでくれ。
I love that kind of art style choice personally. That just like carries, I don't know what it is. It's almost like you're punching, like Jordy said, you punch this man back to the manga. I'm gonna punch you so hard you're gonna leave this whole entire fucking anime. Bam!
Well, I think it also has to do with just the fact of like anime as a medium, like what like the style of like how they tell a story, where it's about more so like the energy behind things versus just like the action.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think they went a route where they were like, we need to add as much impact as we can to this shot, and they like tried a billion different things, and they're like, what happens if we just take away instead of adding?
Yeah, you just take everything away that isn't just the two of them.
Yeah, You just leave the bare bones like punch, and like this is what we want to convey anyway. So it's like we don't need the color, we don't need the lines, the details. We just need black and white. Man, what a good movie.
I can't stress enough that I'm so glad that you guys actually did enjoy it, because I figured this one was going to be like either what the fuck did I just watch, or hey, it was definitely the best of the ones we've watched so far. Like that was all I was hoping for.
No, it definitely is the best of what we've watched.
I would say
far.
this is easily the best movie we've watched out of the 6.
It all goes downhill for me.
Stop that.
I would say that. I mean,
I don't need that negative energy.
don't put that negative energy on me,
Jordy,
sir.
did you say that this was one of the ones that was like on your list of your favorite ones, or was this not
I
one?
said this is number 3 now.
Okay.
This one was always on my list of favorites, but I didn't want you guys to know that.
Of the like 15, I really only enjoy like 4, honestly.
Yeah, I would say that Jordy and I probably only like the same ones, but you know, whatever.
It was, we'll tell you when it happens, but it was when Oda actually had input in it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Because Oda doesn't actually write any of these screenplay for any of these movies.
He does none of these. Like, no, he does no story. He might do character design. I'm not sure.
Yeah, these are all literally just Toei being Toei and wanting to be like, hey, you know, we want more money, so let's try to like come up with some ideas for movies or something.
Does this man direct any more of the One Piece movies, or is this
He
a one
does
and done?
not.
He went on to do bigger, better things.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
This is a very unique flavor for One Piece movies. We will probably never see one like this again. There are good One Piece movies that are not in this style, but this is a kind of a one-off. It's very on its own. It stands on its own legs.
My personal favorite, I'm pretty sure Devin will enjoy.
Jordy, don't give me hope. Don't give me hope.
I won't. It's actually a movie about Buggy, but don't worry about it.
Ooh, baby.
The Buggy
No.
movie. Yeah, the Carnival movie is actually my favorite of all of them.
Buggy D movie.
Buggy the movie.
You know, all right, never mind.
All right,
Jordy's like-
that was weird.
I could play a game. Nah, never mind.
Yeah,
Jordy's like, we don't need that energy.
I'm just saying, you know, Buggy the Clown's not that far from being the king of the pirates.
That's what I'm
just
saying, dude. Like Buggy the Clown, like he's on his way.
Spoilers.
He's like 2 degrees from king of the pirates.
Why do you think we're giving you spoilers? We're just making memes, dude. Like, come on, let us live.
You say memes. Jordy only speaks truth, according to like 2 weeks ago.
Well, it do be that way.
All right, before we get to quotes, next week's 225 to 228.
Back to the show, I guess.
Are we gonna get plot? Find out next week.
You guys got any quotes? Because I got shit.
I ain't got shit because I was so fascinated with the film.
Honestly, I don't have that many quotes either. Like,
I
there's
think
not.
we all dropped the ball on this one.
Yeah, I think we were all too like enthralled with the movie to even care about quotes.
I, ain't gonna lie
I
to
mean,
you,
I
dude.
wrote down the haiku that I realized was a haiku after the fact, and like, really, that's about it. Like, there's not really a whole lot here to like actually quote, I guess.
I kind of like the shanty at the beginning. Not a shanty, but like the letter to all the pirates at the very beginning. Something about like that weird, dreary, like repeating of the last line. I forget what it was.
It was a pirate among pirates among pirates among pirates.
Well, that was
something like that.
that was the beginning, and then Luffy wanted her to repeat it because he's like, "Yep, we're pirates, we're going."
ナミ、最初からもう一回読んでくれ。ああ。もし君が海賊の中の海賊の中の海賊の中の海賊ならば、信頼する仲間を連れてこの島に来るがよい。よし、決めた。
I think the only other thing I could think of that's like quote worthy, again, I have nothing to write it down, is just whenever the turtle kid just goes "Pih" at the end of his sentence.
Why do you keep saying "puh"? He's like, why are you making fun of me, puh?
お前の帽子かっこいいっぷ。僕にくれっぷ。お前の帽子くれっぷ。
なんでお前に俺の帽子あげなきゃならねえんだよ。
そんなこと言わないで。くれっぷ。
I love the TJ, dude. TJ kid's amazing.
The DJ kid will do be smacking.
And then when he walked up to the Baron and said, "How come I never get hurt? I even know I'm the weakest one in the crew."
If anything, there's a quote right there. He's like, why does it always feel like I never get hurt? And he's just like, oh, because you're so strong, dude. Like, that's all there is to it.
I feel like we're skipping over the best part where his shell also doubles as a skateboard.
Mr. Baron, I don't feel so good. Puh.
Stop.
Mr. Barrett, I don't feel so good. Puh. Now that's a good
My
meme.
feels.
That's a good meme right there. All right.
Wow. All right.
we got
Who do we think is gonna win this Golden Ham?
Man, I don't know, but I feel like it'd be a shame if we don't give it to like some of these like side Baron characters. I could give it to
What?
the Mooch. What?
It's the mustache guy.
All right, yeah, you're right. The mustache guy was kind of clutch. Hang on.
How are we? How is this not just like the first thing?
Well, I don't know. It's not that I forgot the mustache guy. It's just that like
I have to agree with Christian with it because of that scene where he just finally gets called Nakama by Luffy and he just bursts into
And
tears.
he does the Luffy does the mustache thing at him.
I'm sorry, Christian. You're right.
This dude has such a weird turnaround in the entire movie because at first he's just a guy who tries to snipe Luffy away from his crew
with little rocks to bigger rocks.
and then you completely forget about him until he comes back and he's like after everything's gone to shit and he's like, bro, Luffy, you gotta get a hold of yourself, dude. Like, and then Luffy gets the entire backstory of this dude's whole crew. You realize that this guy is the only captain to ever, somehow get away after his entire crew is murdered. Either he got away or he was let off, whatever it is. But he had the will to live after his entire crew is dead. And then he saves Luffy and helps him.
And then he gets like blown up at one point.
Yeah, he gets like completely eviscerated at one point. He's like, and then Luffy comes and saves his ass.
I think you're probably right. I think I'm a little wild here. I can
I can vibe with a lot of the Baron's crew being hype. The Kappa kid we already said is hype. Mochiguro, the absolute bachelor, getting all the girls is
But
hype.
none of them hit as hard as he did.
But nobody stands a candle to Mustache Man Brief.
Now that we actually know his name.
I will remember his name always now that I know it.
I guess mustache guy wins.
Yay.
You want a picture with him, the mustache, or you want Luffy to do the little mustache?
No, I want him doing the mustache with a light bearing down on him from Luffy doing it.
It has to be him.
Damn, with
And
the little
crying.
teary eyes.
Yeah.
Today's grab bag is the Miss Valentine Award, kids.
Ooh, a Miss Valentine.
Who did
for
we
these.
hate? I'm voting a duo here. I'm voting for Zoro and Sanji. Get your bickering out of here.
Honestly,
I don't know whose bright idea was to put them back in the same team again. Like, we've done this number of times before, guys. They don't work well together. We get that they're the strongest, but stop.
I can kind of vibe with this.
I got tired of the whole like they don't get along thing in like the first 30 minutes, and then they kept doing it, and I was like, God
I
damn it,
agree.
we get it. We get it.
They did more annoyance than they did actually make me like want to root for them. Like, sure, they had some cool moments.
It's funny in small moments where like Sanji's making a meal and he's like, hey, mudhead, get over here and eat. And he's like, what'd you call me? I called you a mudhead.
right.
Then they turn this into a plot point. I'm like, hold on.
No, this is definitely not something you build upon.
I can agree. The obnoxious bickering of Sanji Zoro was probably the only part of the movie that was just kind of getting old pretty fast. We've seen it enough times
really doesn't
already.
help since we just got from them doing it in the Foxy. Like,
Yeah.
it compounded onto it, and it just really didn't help their image.
All right, man, that was a quick Valentine. Well, we did talk a lot about the movie here. I feel like there's a good amount left.
Bye.
Okay, I'm pressing stop.